Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk holiday tea and tea wares. I've been saying for quite a while that I was going to get around to sharing with you some of my favorite holiday flavored teas and a few thoughts about brewing tea and some of my cool collected tea wares because we have the coolest consignment shop down the road from us and I get in trouble there a lot. Anyway, so let's just dive right on in. First we will talk about the basics of brewing tea. So, whatever type of tea you have, if you have green tea, white tea, black tea, herbal tea, oolong tea, and there are even more, but that's a good start. You need to pay attention to having good, cold, clean water that is coming from a tap that doesn't have too much off flavors. You want to put that into your tea kettle, not in the microwave. You want to make sure that you are brewing it to whatever temperature is on the box or the canister, and then, just really make sure that you've got your ratio of tea to water right according to the directions, or if you like it weaker or stronger. So let's start out with my very first tea, which is going to be a green tea. Green tea will need a lower temperature and a lesser brewing amount of time to get a good cup. So here I have one of my favorite companies, which is Simpson & Vale, and this is their orange cranberry green tea. So I will just use it as an example of how to make yourself a cup of loose leaf tea. So loose leaf tea is quite beautiful. It has all sorts of extra goodies in here. So this one's got your, dried cranberries, your little orange peel bits and everything to make it taste yummy and smell amazing. I think the reason that I like tea so much is that it's very similar to like Scentsy Wax or Good Candle, in that there are many layers of aroma and you don't eat your Scentsy bars, but taste going on that is very much just a pleasure and something I love to collect. So we're going to take our orange cranberry here, and you need to make sure you have the right kind of measuring spoon. You can get a 1 teaspoon like special measuring spoon from some of the tea companies that I'm talking about today. I know for this that what I would need is a full tablespoon in a sack, because this is Simpson & Vale. They have a little bit more tea ratio to water than most companies. You would be putting this in here, and the end result is going to be something like this. So then you're going to put your proper amount into your cup. So for me, 1 tablespoon of that particular tea in this, and then fill this most of the way, is going to give me a perfect cup. And then being that it's green tea, we'll brew it at 175 degrees for 3 minutes. And you will end up with absolutely beautiful cranberry orange perfection. So if you're going to do a whole pot, then you need to, scale up your ratios and just make sure that you brew it for the proper time and temperature. The next one that I'm going to share with you might just be my favorite or runner-up favorite of all of my holiday teas ever. This is called Figgy Pudding Tea, and it's also by Simpson & Vale. I love their holiday collections. They have a literary collection, they have a holiday collection, they have a dessert collection with great and very unique flavor profiles. So this Figgy Pudding is almost like a sugar plum type of a scent. And the taste is sweet and mellow, and with the green tea, it's not overly caffeinated. It is so good. So, Figgy Pudding Tea by Simpson & Vale, top favorite of mine. Another one that I have here that is a green tea is called Autumn Mist, and this is from Adagio. This one's got apple, it's got a creme brulee flavor, it's got some cinnamon, some rose hips. It's like a really nice, smooth, mellow blend, a sweet green tea, and very subtle fall flavors. It's excellent. Another one that's a little bit more in your face, not too much so, is their newer cranberry nut muffin green, which my youngest daughter just loves. So this sort of has a bakery and then cranberry note to go with the green. It's beautiful. And then this is a teaspoon per 8 ounces, I believe, instead of a teaspoon per 6 ounces, and it makes a big difference in how much tea you're going to put in your loose leaf pouch, and then you still brew it for 3 minutes because they're all green teas. Another thing that I've got here isn't a green tea at all. It is an oolong. And this one I would say would be more like, if you're going to classify it as my New Year's Eve tea. It is called Creamy Toasted Coconut. Now, an oolong tea is halfway between a green and a black. It's partially oxidized. We came up with oxidized tea to be able to make it travel farther, and people would ship from China all the way over to somewhere like England, and the only tea that would make the journey would be your oxidized like black tea, which is why most Westerners are more familiar with things like English breakfast and stuff like that rather than than your beautiful teas that you find with more tea educated groups of people with your green tea or white tea and exotic things I don't even know about. Anyway, so we have this gorgeous creamy toasted coconut here, which, it's like smooth. It's got a little bit of maltiness, not very much, not like a black tea with a lot of tannin and malt. Oh, and the coconut in this is superb. So I would highly recommend this. And then, of course, just read your time and temperature and ratios to be able to get a delicious cup. Next, we're going to go into my black tea family. And there are a lot of good ones here. So first off, I've got one that's really almost more fall, but it's one of my favorites. It's called Cozy Comfort, and it has kind of a black walnut finish to the black tea. Oh, it's so nutty and toasty and good, you guys. It's beautiful. It's like imagining that you've got your cup of tea and you're walking through a fall forest with crunchy leaves. I love this tea, so I had to include it even though we're a little bit past the fall season. Another one which is very Christmas specific, I had this at a tea room years ago with my best friend. That's one of the things we used to do together before we had kids that were so in their teenage years and now we're too busy to do it, was go and have holiday tea. And so this is St. Nick's, and it brings me back, all of this type are from Simpson and Vail, this style of tin. Brings me back to going to the tea room with her, and one year we even took one of my children, my older daughter, and even though she's not real into all the fancy stuff, that was a beautiful memory for her, and I think we had this tea. So this one is like, it's got some chocolate, it's got some nuts, I think it has some walnut, it's got some almond, it is just delicious. And this one I would say you probably want some honey or some sugar and then some milk with it. It's fabulous. Okay, the next one on my list here isn't exactly a Christmas tea, but it's spicy, and I have had a hard time locating a new tea to replace an old holiday blend that was discontinued by a certain company. And I'm so sad because that just meant Christmas, you know, kind of like certain smells. You know, if you watch my channel that I do primarily Scentsy, and for a while I couldn't get my Cozy Fireside, and there just wasn't anything that was like it. This tea is sort of like the replacement for that holiday blend that is no longer made. So this Oriental spice, it's so rich and it's so spicy, and it's the right amount of all those just different, almost Christmassy spices. I don't think this one's got orange peel in it. Let me look. Black tea, spice flavor. Nope, it's got orange, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and cloves. That's why I love it. So this is just a sample, but their Oriental Spice by Adagio is excellent if you're looking for like a good spice tea for Christmas. The next one on my list is Comfort and Joy by Republic of Tea, and some of these are going to actually be tea bags, so this is a good cheat if you don't want to deal with all the fancy stuff. They have these funny little round tea bags, but they're great. This smell, this scent, this taste that comes from the Comfort and Joy is one of my favorite holiday teas. So this one's sort of subtle. It's got cinnamon, clove, licorice root, and apple, but it just comes across more as gently spiced. It's fantastic. It's a little bit on the sophisticated side, I think, of holiday spice tea, and it's beautiful. All right, now the next one is probably right up there with the figgy pudding. This is called Tea of Good Tidings, and this one's a loose leaf. It's similar to the Comfort and Joy, but spicier. Oh, you guys, I wish you could smell this. This is like tea, Christmas fused. It's perfect. It's just right. So this one has quite a lot in it. Juniper. I love juniper. It's got orange, cranberry, clove, rose petals, almonds, vanilla, black currants, blackberry leaves, and cardamom seeds. So it's quite fancy. And whenever I brew this, and I usually do save it for Christmas time, it just makes me so happy. So this one is Christmas in a Cup. Probably this would be the equivalent of my beloved Cozy Fireside as far as emotional connection to the holidays in tea. The next one is one that I've had before, but I haven't ordered it recently, and this is called Sip and Be Merry, also by Republic, and this one has just vanilla and cardamom in it. So if you don't like spicy, but you prefer more bakery with your black tea, this is really, really good. It's nice and smooth with all that vanilla and almost like a carameliness and the cardamom. Oh, fantastic. So this is a new find for me, Sip and Be Merry. All right, also, we have just a standard one. I usually find this at Target in the Christmas section. This is Joy by Tazo. Now, this isn't one that I would reach for first, but I would put it in like my top 10. And this one's just regular old tea bags. My best friend, this is her favorite Christmas tea, hands down, so I always buy her a package. So again, this connects me to memories and my dear best friend, and we do lots of tea together. Like, if you were in a tea drinking contest to see who could do in the most pots in an afternoon, the two of us would sign up and we would totally win, or at least I would win. She talks more, and I drink more tea. And if you can believe that. She is a bubbly, wonderful person. She's an English teacher. What's really funny is she picks on me in her English. Like, my kids take one of her English classes. She picks on me in a lot of her writing, and I pick on her on my channel, so we're totally even. Anyway, so what's next? I think that's all of the black tea that I would recommend. So now, there are a lot of herbals. If you really don't do black tea well and you don't want caffeine, a new love of mine this year is Winter Wonderland by Simpson & Vale. And this one has hazelnut, it's got vanilla, it's got chocolate. So this is if you like rooibos though. So several of the ones I'm going to suggest next, you have to like that flavor. My dear best friend hates this kind of tea, so, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. You gotta pick and choose your battles, right? But this is gorgeous, this Winter Wonderland, and it's like roasty and toasty, and it's got the sweetness from that little bit of chocolate. I liked it a lot. Ooh, here's one that isn't contaminated with rooibos, it's just herbal. Cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and other herbs and spices. This cardamom cinnamon tea. It's so soothing, so warming. I found it last year. Sometimes this comes in a holiday packaging from our Republic of Tea. All the ones that look like this are Republic of Tea. Oh, you guys. Oh, so good. This is probably my top third or fourth out of this whole pile. This is very winter spices specific. It's very relaxing. And being an herbal, I am so impressed at the amount of flavor that this particular tea packs in. It's so good. Okay, another one, which is probably going to be the only pepperminty kind of a thing in here because it's not my favorite flavor, but this, which is your organic candy cane. It's a green rooibos from Simpson & Vale. This one comes sort of pre-sweetened. It's not like overly sweet, but you don't really need anything in this cup. Oh my gosh, you guys, is it good? Oh, if I can get this off and not have it all over the place. This is the right amount of peppermint. And the green rooibos doesn't get in your face as much as the red. Oh, you guys, this is so good. If you are kind of stressed and you want a little bit of a pick-me-up with no caffeine and a lot of happiness, this is your cup. Definitely. Okay, another one, which right now you cannot get the tin on Republic of Tea. I had to order just the refills, and thank God I kept my tin. Cranberry Spice Hibiscus is fantastic. Now, I always end up using 2 bags rather than 1 for the amount of water. Oh, but you guys, this is like spiced cranberry juice with ginger, except in your teacup. It is so good. And I do not like hibiscus tea. This is the only hibiscus tea that I care for at all. It's just right. And with a slug of honey, this is just like the best, most comforting thing. And like I said, you need 2 tea bags though, for me, compared to the way that they tell you to brew it. Absolute home run. So comforting. Back in the day, we used to have these big fancy Christmas parties at my house where everybody would dress up. One time I made my mother's stuff all these little Cornish hens with this cranberry dressing. She said she'll never, ever do that again, ever. And everybody would come all fancy, and then I would put this huge pot of spiced cranberry juice on the stove. This is a distillation of that memory for me. It's amazing. Okay, so a new one that I just tried out today, like it's good, it made it on my it's good list, not necessarily the absolute top, cinnamon vanilla, which this one I think is also a rooibos, but this is really nice. It's not quite as good as the cardamom cinnamon one, but if you like cinnamon vanilla from Scentsy as far as a bar, this is what you would pair with it, and it's really, really comforting. Oh, it's so good. It's just not as sweet. It's similar to this one. This one has a little bit more complexity and sweetness, and this one's a little bit more herbal. So, very, very nice. Then, I have a couple more here just to round out my suggestions for not being black tea or green tea or any of that. This is a fall tea. Now, many people can't stand it. If you like the Scentsy bar around the campfire or Palo Santo and you want to drink it, get yourself some Bonfire from Adagio. almost all of my friends turn up their nose and cannot stand even the scent of this particular tea. But I also like real classic Lapsang Souchong, which is a tea I didn't represent here because I'm going holiday specific. But I love that. It's like a smoked black tea. Most people hate that too. If you love Lapsang Souchong, you've got to try Bonfire by Adagio. So they add all sorts of like herbal spices and maybe some orange peel and stuff, or apple, into the smoky, and it's not black tea. It's like a smoked herbal blend. Phenomenal. All right, my new favorite that is from Adagio is the Golden Pumpkin. This is like a turmeric tea. I love turmeric, and I've discovered that in the last like 6 months that herbals with turmeric, they calm me down. Oh, this is so good. So this is like a smooth, beautiful golden cup. And even though it's pumpkin-y, so you're thinking like fall, it doesn't really read pumpkin spice. It reads more just warmth and comfort. So I wanted to recommend this. And to round all of this out, I'm thinking about New Year's and trying to get back to being healthier. I absolutely love, now this one is not caffeine free, the Arabica Lemon Turmeric, I may not have said that right, that you can get from Adagio, is a caffeinated blend with a lot of turmeric and herbals. And this stuff reads a little bit medicinal, but again, it is so calming and soothing. It's great for your nerves, and it's great for health benefits, this one. So I wanted to recommend this as like a New Year's kind of a thing, especially if you wanted to get off of coffee for a while and just kind of be a little more mellow and chill. This is really, really good. So those are my recommendations when it comes to tea. So what are my 3 favorites? The Figgy Pudding, the Tea of Good Tidings, and I would probably have to say the Cardamom Cinnamon. I think these guys would be my top 3 if I was just going to order. And of course, I love spice. So these are absolutely fantastic. So let's move on to things that I've collected that celebrate tea and the tea table itself. So a long time ago, I got a bowl from my children for Christmas, and I forgot to pull that. It's in the basement. From this random collection of beautiful, beautiful plates and dishes by Lenox. It is a stoneware. It's older. It's like a 90s kind of a theme. I love this. It is the, I think, Holiday Greetings by Lenox. Let me read the bottom. Yes, winter greetings, but the everyday. There's a fancy version of this that's all like elegant white china, but I have the whole set. This is my favorite Christmas teapot. I have the whole set of these stoneware winter greetings where all the birds are different. So I just grabbed one set to show you guys. All of the cups have these beautiful birds. There are different ones. There's, oh gosh, goldfinches and cardinals and hairy and downy woodpeckers, and this one's the tufted titmouse. Is he not the cutest? Oh, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so there's not quite so much glare. So here is the salad plate, and again, all the birds are different. I have the whole set, and I found them at estate sales, like digging through different pantries and things of people's old homes. And then here's the titmouse again, the tufted titmouse. Is he not the cutest? Look at this. Oh, I love these. So this one usually goes out on my table between Christmas and New Year's because it's not like the easiest one to do a whole set and not have it be super busy, but I love these. So that is my first find. Next, I think I'll show you just all of the random teacups that I've collected. I have gotten rid of some of my Christmassy teacups because I kind of have a rule that 4 of every season, that's as many teacups as you can keep, Elizabeth, because I am such a collector. So this is the very first from the tea room that I had drunk the St. Nick's tea at with my best friend. Very first, like, collectible teacup I think I ever bought. And I don't have any idea whether it would be easy to find more of these, but this one is, oh gosh, it's Japanese. I don't know anything about value or style or anything else. I just love them. So this was my first collectible teacup. And then next, I think this one's a Limoges. This is quite fancy. This one I got from the cool resale shop, downstairs, or down the street. This one is French, you can tell. And it's just so, so pretty. I wish I could find a whole set like this. This is lovely. Usually my best friend will pick this one because she's quite fancy. So, all right, what's next? Ooh, my most recent find. This one, oh, this one's English. This is Royal Albert. This is beautiful. And this one's holly, and I do have a soft spot in my heart for holly anything. My mom has the whole Holiday Lenox set at her house. Look how pretty this is. I love this. So the fun of tea is also collecting the tea wares so that you can enjoy just that little respite during the day of something tactile and soothing and visually beautiful. It's just such a wonderful thing. So I have a bargain teacup here. I think I got this one at Home Goods. So this reminds me of another one of my very good friends because she's my poinsettias and like trucks and plaid kind of a girl. You know, the cute red pickup truck with the Christmas tree out the back kind of motif. This reminds me of my other very, very good friend. And then I have a set. I could only find one teacup and the pop that I found at Home Goods. These are so cool because they're black and white. Look how pretty this is. I'd love to find a set of 4 of these. And you've got like your little sleigh and your sort of incognito Santa on here. And then here is the matching teapot, which is so cute. And this totally goes with my theme this year with all the black and the white and the gold. It's wonderful. So those are some of my thoughts. And then I have a couple of dishes. There is a set by, I think it's Juliska. I don't have the plates, but the Winter Estates holiday plates by Juliska, one of those things I'm going to get someday. But my mom did buy me a couple of the like accessory plates. Isn't this beautiful? So I will put this out on the table with just like my red china or even my beautiful white museum white china that my grandmother, I inherited from her. Oh, this is my favorite. Isn't that adorable, you guys? I had people over for tea a couple weeks ago, and I did the whole cream cheese and pepper jelly thing on here. It was gorgeous. So this is now going to be the pepper jelly plate. And I have kind of a similar knockoff kind of a thought from Pier 1 before it went out of business. And I know you can do Pier 1 online, but it's not the same. So I have a really nice Le Creuset, just a good quality teapot. This thing will brew so much tea. Very nicely done, very simple. I love to put this out on display because it's just such a beautiful red color. But I have a set of 4 beautiful salad plates and the red, like the regular red stoneware to go with from Pier 1 back in the day. And these are sort of like my week of Christmas plates that I will put out. So all 4 of them are different and they're just beautiful. So this one reminds me of when we go to Frankenmuth. There's a covered bridge there. This one is just super, super cutesy. This is beautiful with the church, reminding us of the sacredness of Christmas. And they're just so charming. And then last but not least, this one's like Christmas villages. Besides reindeer and trees, Christmas villages are one of my other favorite motifs for the holidays. So there's that. So then, you know, you put your salad plate with, sorry for all the clunking here. You put your salad plate with your dinner plate. And then have, you know, a pretty ivory or maybe even a plaid napkin. And I'm missing the cup, but I did have a red cup that goes with this. And then I'll put these out and usually throw a poinsettia in the middle of the table. And it's stunning. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my recommendations of tea and a few of the things that I've shown you that I have collected over the years that are happy tea wares. Oh, and one more just cutesy, goofy little thing. I think these are from Target. And my husband's coming up the stairs, so this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the tea party. Bye-bye.